So today I wanted to share with you this tool that I discovered recently that I've been using in workshops and with teams for the last few months that I found really fab, so I kind of wanted to share it with you as well. It's called StrongSuits. So if you Google StrongSuits, you'll find out all about it. And if you are a coach or you work with teams and you want to see them reach their potential and flourish, then I think you'll really like this. So let me tell you what it is. What is this all about? So it's like a normal pack of cards. So there's 52 StrongSuits cards in a deck, and there's 4 suits, which I'll tell you a bit more about later. They represent different communication styles. So each card represents a strength. And so you have in the middle of the card the strength. So this one is analysis. There's 52 of them. And at the top of the card is a behaviour that you would exhibit when you're at your best. So I use facts and analysis to give myself confidence. What I really like about these is that they have a kind of dark side where your strength is overplayed. So they're all strengths. There's no like weaknesses. So if I'm overplaying my analysis strength, I might feel like this. If I'm not sure of my facts, I'll look stupid. So this is really nice. There's 52 of them describing all sorts of different attributes. So steadiness, ambition, communication, clarity, drive, all strengths. And what's really cool about them is that you can just whip these cards out in a team setting and play games either individually or as a team to help teams understand themselves and each other better. And I think this is really important right now, particularly when so many of us are working remotely and perhaps don't have the strength of working relationships that we might have if we were in the office every single day. So there's a number of different games that you can play with them. Again, I'm just going to say how easy it is. So you may have heard of Gallup Clifton Strengths Finder, for example, which is a strengths-based assessment that you can do to figure out your top 5 strengths out of 34. I've been using that for quite a few years, but this is so easy because you don't have to do anything in advance. You don't have to have the whole group have done this assessment. There's no upfront cost for that, so you don't need to get the buy-in of a team. You can literally just pull them out, and it can work well in any kind of setting, as part of a retrospective, as part of a wider kind of communications initiatives. And there's so many things. I'm going to show you just a couple of the simple games, but there's so many things that you can do with it more in depth, exploring behaviours and really kind of developing this deep understanding of each other, which is fab. Okay, so let me show you the first game, which is called Winning Hand. So you want to play this game with ideally 3 or 4 people per team. So for this one, you only need 1 pack of cards between the whole table. So you start by dealing them out face up so that each person has 5 cards. I'm just going to do this for 2 of us so that you can properly see. You can imagine this game needs quite a big amount of table space. So you deal each person 5 cards face up, and then you deal a few cards face up in the middle and put the pack down. So then the person to the left of the dealer goes first, and they look at cards. Oh, let me just turn these the right way up so you can see them from the point of view of the person looking. So then each person looks at their hand and takes it in turns. Make sure they're the right way up. Takes it in turns to choose one from the middle which is turned up, and maybe replace it with one of the ones they've got in your hand. So let's see, I'm quite happy with enthusiasm, happy with people, focus, optimism. Yeah, they all look good. Is there anything in the middle that I prefer compared to what I've got? I think I prefer, I think I'm more easygoing than I am patient, so I'm going to swap those out. Then the other person would have a go and they'd say, okay. This person might say, I want to get rid of, I don't think I'm very sensitive. I want to get rid of sensitive and swap it with detail. So that's the first go. After each go where everybody has had a chance to swap something with the middle, you then deal out a few more face-up cards. This is where it's difficult to show on this small table. So at this point I would now have another look. My turn again. I'm definitely going to choose kindness. This one is leaping out at me. I'm kind-hearted and understanding towards people. Which one am I going to swap it with? This is getting tricky already. Sometimes it's useful to look at the other side of the card to help you. So optimism, I think I am optimistic. I expect things to go well and I'm willing to take risks. But I can be seen as reckless. That doesn't sound like me. So I'm going to use the opposite behaviour to help me choose. So I'm going to put that one back in the middle. I'm going to choose kindness. And so you keep going, swapping, dealing out some more cards. Swapping out the ones in the middle with the ones in your hand until you come up with your own winning hand. This is going to be quite challenging. It could take about half an hour, particularly if you've got a larger group, and there might even be a little bit of jostling, and this is where you get a lot of laughter happening on the teams and a bit of reflection and even gentle feedback to each other, where you might say, oh, you know, Jenny, do you really think you're easygoing? Surely you're more sensitive than you are easygoing. So it might lead to some good discussion. And then when you get to the end, you have the opportunity just to review everything that's on the table. By this point, you know, there's quite a lot of cards out, and you might even have a bit of a discussion with each other and say, oh, you know what, I like the look of your reliability card. Are you sure we can't share that? Or do you think I'm more reliable than you? And so that's a really nice, simple game, which will help people understand their top 5 strengths, which could be really useful going forward with team communications, just helping us to understand each other better and put ourselves in the mindset of the other person. So here's another game that you can play with the cards. This one you play individually. It's a little bit quicker than the other game. And this one is called your StrongSuit. So for this, you need the cards as they come out of the pack in order in the 4 suits. So what you do is you start by putting each of the suits in a pile in front of you, so that you've got 4 piles. And then the objective is that you take 1 of each card. So you're going to end up with 13 cards, 1 ace, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5. And so for each stage, you're going to choose which one of the 4 of the same value suits you the best. And you want to make sure that you've got the cards the right way up. And we're thinking about, when I'm at my very best, which one of these is most like me. So you go through the pack, you put the one you want to choose to keep up at the top, and the one that you want to discard, all the 3 that you want to discard at the bottom. So for me, let's have a look. For the kings, I'm definitely going to choose enthusiasm. I use passion and energy to give people confidence. And then I'm going to discard the other kings. Okay, out of the queens. I think it's going to be... I think I'm going to choose listening. I listen to people even when they're different from me. And I'm going to discard the others. Jack. I think for me that's kindness. I'm kind-hearted and understanding towards people. And so you carry on. Choosing which cards you like the best until you've got your 13. So fast forward. So there are my top 13. So here's a recap of the rules of that one. That game is called My Strong Suit. So what does this all mean? Here is the card that shows the different communication styles. So we've got standards, drive. I'm strong in hearts, which means that my communication style can be driven by passion, making me energetic, enthusiastic, persuasive. Also relationships, which means I might be patient, agreeable, diplomatic even. But I've actually got quite a broad mix. So there's a lot of different things you can do to map out the different communication styles on the team and see who's strong in what. And loads of team exercises that can help you appreciate the diversity of the team. You can actually also play that game the other way up with the kind of dark side, overplayed side of your strengths. And you can play the same thing, but think about how you are when you're not at your very best. Maybe you're under pressure, and you can see how your communication style changes if you're stressed. And so there's loads of other games you can play. That's just a little insight. One more really fab thing actually before I go is that there's actually within each of these, for each strength, there is an opposite. So here's an example. The black 10 of spades is opposite to the black 10 of clubs. So challenge, I challenge people when they fail to meet my expectations, is the opposite to rapport. I get alongside people and build rapport. And they're both strengths, which is a really useful tool, recognising how different other people are and how important it is that we have that diversity in teams in terms of neurodiversity, that we bring different things to the table. So sometimes there might be conflict between people that have got these two cards, you know, they might butt heads. But using these cards for games can help you recognise that in a team and then start some insightful conversations about how those two opposing strengths might actually be really useful in certain situations. So anyway, that was just a kind of whistle-stop tour. If you're interested in learning more about strengths in terms of these fab StrongSuits cards, please ping me or put something in the comments, and yeah, maybe I can help you understand a bit more about how to use them. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.